This is a question that, in a way, I can say that has its specific part, but in a way, it's also general. How can I change my mindset? I can say it's specific because it is specifically asked about mindset and changing a mindset, but in a way, it's also general because it doesn't specify what kind of mindset that you want to change and you want to instill what kind of mindset instead. So in that way, because of that, I'm going to share first about mindset itself in general and how it works. Because knowing how it works, how it is created, it will help us to be able to understand more how we can actually change it. So a mindset, it means a particular way of thinking that has been set, or quote unquote, that has been programmed. So why it is programmed? When we talk about our mind, if we say the word programmed, it basically means it's already goes into your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is the programming or the program behind how we think day to day. Why am I saying this? In one day, a human being have around 40 to 50,000 thoughts per day. And out of those 40, 50,000 thoughts per day, only about 5 to 10% are in our conscious thoughts. The 90 to 95% of our thoughts, of our daily thoughts, are in our subconscious mind. And when the thoughts are in our subconscious mind, it means we won't even be conscious that we're thinking about it or that we're using that kind of thinking. That's why when it is in our subconscious, that's why it's called a mindset or a belief. Some people use different kind of terms: a mindset, a belief, a paradigm. It doesn't matter what kind of terms that you use, but basically when things become a mindset, a belief, a paradigm, it means it's already in our subconscious. So how can it be a part of our subconscious? Let's say we have a mindset of blaming others or blaming situations when things are not going the way we want. When we experience failure, it must be his fault or her fault or their fault, or it's because of this kind of situation, it's not because of me. If that is part of our mindset, it means it has become habitual. It has become automatic. That's what it means when it's part of our mindset. Okay? And how come it becomes part of our habit, or how come it becomes part of our mindset? Something can be a part of our mindset because we have been repeating to use the same way of thinking. Or let me rephrase that actually. We have repeatedly choose to use that kind of same way of thinking. One very important word here is choose. Understand that we are the one who actually choose to use that kind of thinking, that kind of perspective. It's time to take responsibility to the feeling that we're experiencing. Circumstances can be different, but how we choose, or which perspective that we choose to use in any kind of given situation, that's going to affect what we feel, and what we feel is going to affect what we decide, what we do, and it's going to affect what we're going to experience, the result that's going to get as well. So let's go back to changing our mindset. So when we understand that the mindset that we have, it comes from a repetition of how we choose to think a particular situation. Let's say we have a mindset that when we fail, it means it's because I'm not worthy. It's because I'm not capable. Let's say that's the mindset that we have. I'm not capable. I'm not good enough. And we want to change this mindset. We realize we have that kind of mentality. We have that kind of mindset. We have that kind of belief, kind of paradigm about ourselves. And we want to change that. First, understand it takes acknowledging that you have that kind of mindset. And a lot of times, at the beginning at least, it's not comfortable, because changing that kind of mentality, it takes self-honesty. And self-honesty, to be honest with yourself about that, I understand it can feel very uncomfortable. But understand as well that it's not permanent. It's just part of a process. It's just part of a journey. When you're changing something at the beginning, it might not feel comfortable, but along the way, when things start to shift, you will feel different as well. It won't be as uncomfortable as in the first phase of you changing this kind of mentality, this kind of mindset. And in the beginning, it will feel awkward as well, because you still have that mindset of, I'm not good enough. Now, in order to do this effectively, in order to be able to do this consistently, to go through, even though when you start to have doubts when in your journey of changing this mindset, what would also be helpful is to understand how a mindset is created or a belief is created. Your beliefs, your mindset, your paradigm, it's basically consists of so many references that you have, whether it's in your past, from your past experiences, or from your from what you hear from other people, what you get from what you read, what you see. Let me give you an example. This is something that happened way back before the pandemic, actually. I was finishing a workshop, and by the end of this workshop, there's one of the participants came to me and asked me, and he asked me, like, he started his question very casually, and this is what he said. So, Mr. Ali, as you know, all girls are jerks, right? So, because blah, 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 blah. That was how he started his question. As you know, all girls are jerks, blah, 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 blah. That's a mindset, that's a paradigm that he had at that time. He had a mindset that all girls are jerks. Now, how did that kind of mentality, that kind of mindset was created? There are references in his past that led him to conclude that all girls are jerks. It could be from his own experience. It can be from the things that he heard, things that he read, things that he saw. But whatever it was, he had quite some references that would lead him to conclude that all girls are jerks. So, is it true? All girls are jerks? Are there girls who are jerks? Yes, there are. Are there girls who are not jerks? Yes, there are. And are there guys who are jerks? Yes, there are. Are there guys who are not jerks? Yes, there are. So which one is true? When it comes to mindset or beliefs or paradigm, don't waste your time to think about which one is true. Because whichever you want it to be true, you will find references that will say that, yes, this is true, yes, that is true, because you will get all kinds of examples, and that can be your references. When it comes to instilling a mindset, the question that you need to ask is, which one will be more useful for me to believe to be true? Which one will be more useful for me to be a part of my mindset, to be a part of my paradigm? So in case of that guy who asked me, in short, I asked him, so do you actually want to find a partner, a romantic partner, or not? And he said, yes. So now you have this kind of mentality. Do you realize that you have this kind of mindset? Now, is that useful for you to have this kind of mindset when you actually want to find a romantic partner, then you want to get married and all that? Is it useful to have this kind of mindset? No. So, what kind of mindset that would be useful? Now, once you realize this, the next thing that you need to do is you need to get as many as references as possible that would actually lead you to instill the mindset that you wanna have, that you want to have a part of your personality, a part of your character. So another example, let's say me as an entrepreneur, I want to instill a mindset that no matter how many failures that I experience, if I continue to work smarter and harder, I will become more successful. I know I need to have that kind of mindset as an entrepreneur. But I also realized that at this moment, it's still very, fluctuative for me. It's not yet part of really like my identity. And it's not comfortable to acknowledge that, but that's what I need to acknowledge first if I want to change that, if I want to change my mindset. Once I acknowledge that, so the next question, because our mindset is basically created from all the references that we have, whether from our own experiences or what we heard from others, what we read, what we saw from others, right? So because now I understand what kind of mindset that I want to instill. So what I did was, what I continue to do as well, even as today, is I continue to look references that would show me that there are so many people who are able to become more successful regardless how many failures that they have experienced. So I read about great business people who were able to overcome failures. I look for videos that explain, that help me that would encourage me to continue to learn, that continue to bounce back no matter how many failures that I've experienced, and how I can become smarter in managing my emotions, and how being able to manage my emotion would be able to lead me to become more successful and all that. So I continuously, deliberately, I plan to deliberately instill and consume this kind of references, this kind of contents. I read books about it, I watched videos about it continuously. So I didn't wait to hopefully I will find someone who would encourage me. I didn't wait until I found a good article or a good book or a good video that would encourage me to have that kind of mentality. I actually planned it. Because I realized that that's how mindset is created, by the references that we continue to consume. So, because right now, even from myself, I still have in my self-talk, very often, I have negative self-talk as well. I like self-talk that is like doubting myself, because that is a reference as well. Those references, besides from what you experienced, besides from what you heard, what you read, what you saw, these references can also come from your self-talk as well. So I want to create a positive mindset. It means I need to continuously bring positive references that would lead me to instill that mindset that I want to create. Yet, there are still so many negative references that comes to me without me even inviting them to come, including from my own negative self-talk. That means in order for me to be able to instill the mindset that I want to instill, that I want to create, that I want to make it to be a part of who I am, at the very beginning, I need to bring way much more references that would lead me to believe that I can. Way more, maybe like 5 times more of positive references than the negative references that usually come to me, including from my own negative self-talk. Because these negative references, they keep coming, even without me inviting them to come. That means if there's this kind of negative self-talk and negative references that would lead me to doubt my own ability, I need to plan to deliberately have this many positive references that would lead me to believe that I can. That is how you build a mindset in a more systematical and a more strategic way. But it starts with you first acknowledging that you do have, currently you still have a negative mindset, and you don't have to blame yourself, be compassionate. It's just about acknowledging and then identify what kind of mindset that you want to create, and then start to ask what kind of references that would help me to instill this kind of mindset. From where can I get them? What kind of content should I be consuming? What kind of content that are in the algorithm of your social medias? The more you follow accounts, the more that are useful for you, that are more useful to build the mindset that you want to have, The good thing with the technology right now, they're going to automatically feed you with this kind of content as well. So this is something that you need to do deliberately, because you cannot wait to, hopefully you'll find a good content, hopefully you'll meet a good person that will help you to instill the mindset that you want. If you continuously hope for it to happen, meanwhile all these negative references continuously come, it's going to be a really, really struggling journey to change your mindset. So this is basically how you instill a mindset, by understanding how it works, how it is created, and how it can be maintained as well. Once you can, in maybe the first month, you continuously bring this positive, references, while these are the negative references. After a month or after 2 months, now it's about maintaining it. It's no longer about changing. The changing of a mindset, of course, it's going to take more effort. But maintaining it, even though it's still very important to maintain it. It means you still need to continuously bring those positive references. But once it's about maintaining it, the effort that will take, it won't be as much as when you first start to changing your mindset from negative to positive. So I hope what I'm sharing here is useful and practical, and I hope you do use it, and I hope you do practice it as well. And do write in the comment section as well about your experiences in transforming a particular mindset, the successes that you had, the challenges that you're probably facing as well, so we can learn from each other as well. And don't forget to like and subscribe as well, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao. Very quickly, there's a research that reveals a universal pattern of phases that people go through in their journey of discovering and living their life purpose. And you can learn and find out in which phase am I in right now, and what's the next phase, and most importantly, how do I get there? Find your answers in Uncover Your Unique Purpose, a comprehensive and practical guide to discovering your life purpose. It's a research-based book, and as well covered with all the exercise you'll need to discover your unique purpose. Get this book now and take a real step to your most unique self-discovery journey. This book is available on Amazon worldwide.